Hello. This is the Phantom Safety Pin. And we're just about at the tail end of Myst IV Revelation. We've got a few things to do. And all of them involve the endings. We're in the end game now. This is the final challenge we need to handle. The final thing we need to unlock. There is one more puzzle to do. I wouldn't really call it a puzzle so much as like a mini game. It's like the color puzzle. Very arbitrary. This is the old memory chamber. It has died, as you can see. That doesn't look too good. Apparently the pollen becomes poisonous, as they said before. Once these memory chambers get old. We should very much not want to open this. But maybe it's safe, I don't know. Maybe it's safe? Question mark? They seem to have contained it pretty well. Yeah, that one looks definitely, not great. And that toxic gas in there looks not good. Yeah, that definitely looks poisonous. You can see why they abandoned it. Can I leave, please? Very uncomfortable in this room. Very uncomfortable in this room. Not scared, just deeply uncomfortable. It's real quiet in this area. Oh, it's real quiet. Real quiet in this area. Oh, that's terrifying. Serious? Serious? I don't know this friggin' mummy serious. It's scary. It's actually kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, it actually is kind of terrifying. Have hyperbaric oxygen chamber, interesting. What's up here? Guess we're gonna find out, right? Isha?
Agnar, it's you. You've come to rescue me. Over there's a lever that'll set me free. Hurry up before Agnar comes back. What are you waiting for? He'll kill us.
Okay.
Move.
You're being a little bossy, Nisha. You know, I don't have to save you. But I am gonna save my game here. Because this is in fact the final choice in the game. Now for your benefit, I'm going to do the bad ending first.
Agnar, use the silver lever.
Gather.
Turn it and you'll set me free.
No! Stop! This is not Yisha!
What?
Cirrus used the machine. He forced the memory chamber to remove all of her memories.
Liar!
This is Cirrus, I tell you.
This is crazy! He killed Cirrus when he tried to save me.
Seriously, would I kill my own brother?
Yes!
No. He removed Yisha's memories. And then he used the machine to plant his own memories inside her head.
What?
This is Cirrus, I tell you.
Look, he's got the life stone. Serenia's memory chamber can't survive without the
Shut up!
Please, I'm your little sister.
He's just playing games with you.
You see, he's a killer.
No. No! I told you already. I only stole this to stop Cirrus from hurting Father, but I was wrong. He was after Yisha all along.
No, he's the one who kidnapped me, not Cirrus.
Look, we have to set everybody's memories back right again. The amber lever. Turn the amber lever to begin the process.
No, you'll kill me if you do that.
Hooray! Before the memory chamber gets too weak to power the transfer.
Don't listen to him.
We're going, of course, to do the correct option, is to turn the amber lever.
No, you fool! My performance was perfect!
Thank you.
You may have won this
You're welcome.
round, brother, but it's not over.
No. Cirrus! Don't! Oh, something has gone wrong.
How's that even work, bro?
Isha's memories are not coming back again. There's gotta be some way that I can reach her. If only I had a... No. Not now. Not now. The memory chamber can't fail now. Listen to me. The memory chamber is dying. And if it dies, it'll stop the transfer. And I don't know what that will do to Yisha's mind.
Will it make her crazy like Uncle Severo?
Can keep the chamber alive using the stone, but you have got to find a way to reach her. Go to the dream world and try and find a way of getting through to her memories.
Okay.
It's the only chance we have. Use the other chair, but hurry. I don't know how much time you'll have after I use the stone.
I mean, the monkeys trusted you, so I trust you. Let this be a lesson to you guys. If the animals trust somebody, trust that person. Akinar, are you gonna be okay? Akinar, bud. Bud? What are you doing, man? What are you... Akinar, no! Bro, no! You can't, dude! It's gonna kill you, dude! No!
Go! You must save Yisha!
Well, there really is nothing we can do to help him. And opening that door's not gonna help Yisha. So we really have only one option. We have to go back in the dream again. Do a risky endeavor, and hope to God the memory chamber doesn't fail. Because then we get our brains scrambled too. And then there'll be all three of us. Cirrus and myself and Isha in her brain. AKA Threesha. We don't want Threesha. We don't want Threesha. So we gotta make sure there is no Threesha. Back in the dream we go. Now I noticed how we do the bad endings first. I lied. We will be doing those in a separate video. This puzzle can take a little while. Again, not even a puzzle.
You are a most unusual traveler, my friend.
Am I?
The vision you witnessed here last time served you well. Yet still you see Dream as dark and slightly dangerous. Why? I see the answer in your need. You are not just looking for visions this time.
No.
You seek the very memories themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
The one you know as Yisha is still here. She's been unable to return to her waking mind because her connection with it was severed prematurely.
That's a problem, Peter Gabriel.
Come, I will take you to her.
Please do.
Yet the strands of Dream are shifting, even as we approach. I sense the connection reopening. So when we reach her... Interloper! That traveler has no guide. He's using Yisha's memories to remain anchored in dream. Otherwise, he would be lost and quickly crushed amid dreams' constantly shifting waves of possibility. Why is she not aware of him? There, do you see the anchors he's using? They are very powerful memories, which both Yisha and the Traveler have in common. Somehow he's jumbled them up and is using the confusion to hide himself from her. She cannot return to a waking mind while he is attached.
That's a
You
That's
can
a
release
Metroid.
her. By entering both memories and replaying them correctly, you may startle the Traveler enough so that he reveals himself. I will send you into the first one now, and
Okay.
await your return.
That's a whole Metroid, my guy. That's a friggin' Metroid. I didn't know Sis was a Metroid. So yes, this is a very specific puzzle. And what we gotta do is, as I recall, we gotta shift these around. I think this is the most annoying ending puzzle in Myst history, and it's terrible, and I hate it. But here we go.
I'll tell them to an island comb. You can make one, just like you made my spirit guide.
I'd like to, sis, but I don't have a chess set. They break so easily.
You should play him.
I could, but it's really hard to carve figurines that small. That way I'll never be able to break it.
Well, maybe Mom and Dad could give you a set as a present.
Ha! Right. And I suppose you'll tell them to make it out of the same rock as this chamber.
Daddy's really good at chess.
So the idea is to get all these memories in order, and you pick them up, and kind of drop it on the next one. So the order is very specific, and it's kind of obnoxious that way.
You could.
Hey, post-commentary Phantom here. So this puzzle, like I said, is the most annoying endgame puzzle in Myst history, and unfortunately, it's just what it is. I believe it's based on a puzzle called Towers of Hanoi. I might be wrong there. I'm not entirely sure why Ubisoft thought this would be a fun way to end the game, but it's really not. So, since I'm going to be focusing a lot doing this puzzle, I'm going to be talking over it, so you have something to listen to. Now, when I first did this game, I did it completely silent when I was doing this puzzle, and I feel like that was maybe the wrong approach to take, because even though being quiet while I game doing difficult tasks like puzzles like these, or like in Dead by Daylight when I'm in a really intense chase as killer, and I go silent and I focus like a laser point focus, that, I think, doesn't really provide for much good commentary in a slow game like Myst IV Revelation. So, Myst to me, I'm going to talk just in general about kind of how I got into the Myst series. When I was a kid, my mom and my dad had this big beige whale. It's called a beige whale. That's really what it's called. That was like a big desktop computer downstairs in our basement. An old Windows 3.11 running dinosaur of a computer. And it ran floppy disks and CD-ROMs, and that's all it could do. It also, I think, had something called CorelDRAW on it. My dad used it for, like projects and stuff he had. But I would use it to play video games like Myst all the time. And I didn't play Myst. I was a little too young at the time. Myst came out in 1993, but I would watch my mom play it all the time. Now, I'd like to watch my mom play Myst because I was really intrigued by, like, the world, I think. I think that's what kind of drew me. I think the world is what drew me in. This concept of being able to use a book to get to places. The idea of the phrase reading can take you places being very literal. The idea of an alternate reality somewhere that just kind of felt just homey enough, but not quite like home. And I think what really ended up drawing me into the series later, when I was more adult at the time and able to appreciate the games, was the sense of these worlds that were expansive to explore, these places that weren't just games, that were places you visited. So for me, Mist Island is more like a place I visited. Riven is a place I visited. Jananin is a place I went to. These are games that kind of have always been connected to me and that sense of that wanderlust that I've always had. I vividly remember my first time when I got Riven when I was very, very little. I want to say I was 6 years old, and it came on 5 discs. It came on 5 discs, had like the stained glass Gen pictures like you see in the temple room, that same artwork, that same design, and the discs were sealed in. You would have to, literally every time you wanted to go to a new island when you played the game for the first time, you had to open it up and put the disc in it. And it really felt like you were unsealing secrets. It was really, really cool the way they did this. I still have my 5 disc copy of Riven. Of course, I don't have a computer that runs it anymore, but I still have my 5 disc copy of Riven, and I just find it charming to have. This piece of gaming history, this piece of gaming legacy that has been such a big part of like how computer games became worlds. I mean, I say this, I don't think I say this a lot, but I think one of the biggest reasons gaming got big and became these big expansive worlds is from the Myst games. Like, they were kind of the first ones who put that together, and the first ones who kind of made that a thing. Now, I only had Myst and Riven as a kid growing up. I didn't get far enough in to do Exile or Revelation until much later. And my computer, of course, my parents' computer at the time, I think it was like a Windows XP laptop, couldn't handle it. It was not a gaming laptop, so it wouldn't have been able to run them very well anyway. But I finally ended up doing, I think, Exile and Revelation after I'd finally finished Myst and Riven as a teenager, I want to say in like 2008, 2009 was when I first finished the Myst and Riven games. And I wanted more. I wanted to see, are there more Myst games? And I found out, yes, there's more Myst games, and I would like to play them. So, yes, I went out, I rented them from the library. You could do that at that time. You could just rent games from the library. That was a thing. I don't know if it's still a thing now, but it was a thing then. And I went and I rented Exile, and I went and I rented Revelation, and I played through them both, and I loved them. And especially like Exile. I think for some reason, because I weirdly just kind of thought Severo was an interesting character, I think Brad Dourif's intensity is what drew me to Exile, especially because it felt so much like Myst and Riven. So to me, it felt like just another step in the right direction. And when I got to Revelation, I think I remember being very confused, being like, why are we doing weird dream wooge stuff again? It's a little weird, guys. Why are we doing this again? Very, very strange. Is there any reason we decided to go towards the mystical Serenian tangent? Of course, I thought it was fun. I liked seeing what became of the brothers. I liked having that final closure for the brothers story, even though they were never my personal favorite characters in the Myst franchise. Again, that was always Severo. As I'll state later, I'm a bit of a Severo apologist, and I have been for several years. He did nothing wrong. It kind of became, I think, my identity for like a good solid 5-10 years. And then eventually, I guess I just kind of fell out of it. And by the time I was running the Myst Saga on YouTube for the first time, when I was a kid and when I was a teenager and I had my own personal laptop that I used for high school, I was maybe like a freshman in college when I started doing this. And my computer was not very good. I was in the process of getting a new one at the time. But that was when I first recorded those. I had just graduated high school and was just a freshman in college. And I really wanted to do this whole Let's Play thing. I thought it'd be very fun to do it. And that's why I ended up doing what I do now. It's because I feel like being able to share these games that I love so much and being able to explore these worlds I loved so much and show them to people about why I loved them and just go on this journey with other people, share it with so many other people, thousands of you. They have quite a lot of views. especially for the time, and especially for a small channel like mine. But I just like the idea of being able to share that journey with people and share these games I really loved and enjoy these worlds together that I really enjoyed. I found it just the perfect way to really explain why I loved this series that so shaped me. And even though I haven't done End of Ages yet, you will be seeing End of Ages. That is coming. Uru's also coming. I never went back and did those, but I always said I would if I had the capability. But to me, it was a way of being able to again like engage with that and engage with that community and be part of those worlds and share them with other people. So I hope if that's where you came from and that's why you're watching these now, this is what you got out of it. And I hope you will continue to get that out of these newer Let's Plays. That's why I redid them. Because I wanted to go back and show people the real way I always intended to run these games to a point, but with a little more casualness like I have now.
Well, maybe Mom and Dad could give you. I'll tell them to when I link home.
So these are just a little messed up. We're almost done there. What you want to do, take this one, move it here, and we're just about done here. This should be all of them. Bingo. Bingo. And that's all of them.
Daddy's really good at chess. You should play him.
I'd like to, sis, but I don't have a chess set.
You could make one, just like you made my spirit guide.
I could, but it's really hard to carve figurines that small. They break so easily.
Well, maybe Mom and Dad could give you a set as a present. I'll tell them to when I link home.
Ha! Right. And I suppose you'll tell them to make it out of the same rock as this chamber. That way I'll never be able to break it.
And there we go. That's the first half of the puzzle complete.
It's working. We must move swiftly. The Traveler knows what you're doing, and will try to impede you. Go.
He really won't. There's like nothing he can do. So now we have the second half. And I'm going to be quiet for this as well, because I'm focusing, but here we go.
Father and Mother will teach you the art. Leaving behind the perfect disguise for me to step into. When I turn this switch, the chair you're sitting in will activate. Never knowing it's really me who's doing the learning. Of course, I'll kill them as soon as I know how to write ages. Lights will go on. See how round and smooth and empty it is? And everything that's you will be sucked out of your body. Then I'll put my new memories back in my body, and no one will be able to stop me. See this globe, little sister?
So, again, same concept. So what we want to do is, I'm going to try to go for this one first. It's easier. Alright, here we go again. Now this one is a little bit harder than the other one. The first iteration we did. This one takes me a little longer, I believe. Just because it's shorter and there's fewer pieces. Now, the guy does say Sirius will interfere. He pretty much doesn't. The only way he, like, quote-unquote, interferes is that this puzzle tries to, this one tries to deliberately confuse you. The other one was very clear-cut. But other than that, same puzzle. Second verse, same as the first. You're not going to get anything different out of it. Now, I think I want to kind of segue this into why I ultimately redid the series. And I think it's because in 2026 and in 2025, the world is so hectic right now. And I wanted to go back to something that felt a little more pure and heroic and adventurous. I often come back to these games because I found these games during a time in my life that was very, very difficult. Um, Full disclosure, I got into these games around the time that my family had a very messy divorce. These games kind of became safe havens for me where I could go and escape that. And I felt maybe that's what I think other people wanted as well. A sort of an escape into a more kind of not really black and white world, but a world that was more heroic and more adventurous, where you could actually help people fight injustice, where you could right these terrible wrongs, where somebody who was really truly hurt by something like what the brothers did and what a lot of governments right now are doing, unfortunately, someone who was really truly hurt could be helped by you. I've always felt kind of a calling to these games just because they do allow the player to so embody someone who's a hero, but not your average hero. It's not a hero that talks with their fists or fights or like kills people or like goes after the bad guys and puts them in jail. No, it's someone who outwits people who are also very smart. It's wits against wits. It's someone who is intelligent, and that's their superpower. They simply have a kind heart and a few wrinkles on their brain, and they're willing to do the right thing. And that's what I think we need more of in this world. Just more people who are willing to think and do the right thing and do the hard thing and be that person who stands up for those who need it in a time of need. And that's really, I think, what Myst celebrates too, is this idea of adventure, the spirit of being a good person, trying your best even when you fail, and this idea that, well, the ending has never been written, right? The ending can't be written. Time goes on, things continue, events happen. You can't change the past, but you can learn from it and go into the future, and you can make a better ending for yourself. Myst, I think, is just one of those series that in 2025, 2026, some 20, 30 years later, is appreciated for what it was. And what it was a simple, pure experiment into what are we in reality. We're all just kids trying to explore a big playground. That's all gamers are, right? We're all just kids playing on a big playground, especially in multiplayer games. We're all just kids exploring a big playground and trying to figure out how things work and just trying to have fun. I mean, why else do you play games if not to have fun? I mean, I think about that a lot too, especially in terms of Dead by Daylight and like competitive games when I do single player games, side stories like this. Because I think that people maybe take the concept of play too seriously. I touched on this in my Riven Remake Let's Play, that it's fine to make the games that the developers want, and games should be a little difficult and a little challenging. They should challenge you a little bit to do better and be better. But I think where it gets lost in translation is when we substitute difficult for good. Just because something's good doesn't mean it's difficult, and just because something's difficult doesn't mean it's good. I mean, we saw this discussion with Silksong. We see it with puzzle games and old games like these. But the idea is, I think some people, and I'm not going to name names or subgroups here, but I think some people see being able to best a game as being better than having fun in a game. And yes, maybe that's how some people have fun. Being competitive is fun. We all admit that. But I think there needs to be some grace given for people who that's not the way they play. And I think most people actually don't play that way. Most people don't play just to be competitive. Most people don't play just to own the other side. I think most people play, stupid as this sounds, to play because it's fun. So to me, I think this discussion that we have in gaming about like get good and like be the best you can be. Oh, always be winning, always be competing, skill over everything. I think that's a little lost in the sauce. Because there's more to gaming than just being skilled. I mean, what about being smart? What about being creative? What about being clever? Is Minecraft less of a game because you don't necessarily kill people in it or fight in it? I mean, you can. It's Minecraft, but you don't have to. Is Myst less of a game because there's no death in it? Really? I don't think so. Is Exile less of an experience just because you don't do any combat in it? No, I don't think so. And I think that's the type of gaming that a lot of people have forgotten exists. And it's why I value games like the Myst franchise and the games that kind of spawned from it, the Myst clones, like Vanishing of Ethan Carter, games like Outer Wilds, games like The Blue Prince, which came out pretty recently, Naya, which came out recently, Haven Moon, other Cyan World games like Firmament and Abduction. I value those as games because of what else they tell us a game can be. A game doesn't have to just be getting good. A game can be a world. A game can be an experience. A game can be art. And I've said this a few times in several of my Let's Plays before. Sometimes it's okay for games to just be good, fun, art experiences. Now, of course, that can't be all they are, but, like, it's fine for a game to not be just about being skilled and getting good. There are games for that if you want that. And I'm not going to say it's wrong to be that way, because it's not. But I think a lot of people in that crowd of get good or go home could learn a lot from games like Myst and Naya and Haven Moon and those games I mentioned before. I think a lot of people could use learning to slow down and play different ways. Because there's a lot of ways to game, you guys. There's a lot of ways to be a gamer, and there's a lot of ways for even people who are not typically skilled to access gaming. And that's not a bad thing. That's never been a bad thing. And it baffles me when people say it's a bad thing or say you can't use mods, that's cheating, you can't use a walkthrough, that's cheating. I mean, if your goal is to have fun experiencing a game, who's to take that away from you? Who's to take that away and say, no, you're doing it wrong. Give me my toy back. They don't own the toy. I think, overall, that's the problem. I think Get Good Culture has ruined games a little bit. Just because it has falsely put this idea that the only decent, proper way to be a gamer, or be decent at games, or have fun in games, is to just grind your face into a wall until you get the thing that lets you kill the other dude, and the other dude's patterns are really hard. I don't think every single game needs to be like that, and I don't think every single gamer needs to play like that. And I think people get confused when I say that, because I play a competitive game, and it's actually the only competitive game I play. Dead by Daylight is the only competitive game I play. For good reason. Because I'm a competitive bitch. Quite frankly. Because I'm a competitive bitch about it. I get very, very angry and very mad and need to take breaks. Just because, frankly, I don't know. It's very difficult for me to let go of people trying to get under my skin in the game. It's always been hard for me to do that. And I think that's another reason I took so many breaks from Dead by Daylight, too. I do like the game, I really do love it, but God, it makes it very hard to like it when people in the game are being little jerks to each other. And it's weird too, because for me, I grew up in a gamer culture that wasn't a thing. In the Myst, like, if you go to the Cyan World's Discord server, no one's gonna tell you to get good for sucking at the Riven Fire Marble Dome puzzle. No one's gonna tell you suck if you can't do the Amateria balance beam and need help. No one's going to be like, oh, well, you just need to, like, go home. This isn't the game for you. If you struggle at the Serenian Dream Ancestor puzzle in Revelation. And it just baffles me that some gaming subcultures seem to think that's acceptable, because, like, it's really rude to tell people to do that, isn't it? It's really rude to tell them that, oh, well, you're struggling with the game, or you find the game too hard and you're complaining about it, so therefore it's not for you. Why shatter somebody's experience of a game instead of commiserating with them or offering to help by telling them to leave the community they're asking for help in? I don't understand it at all, and I don't think I'm ever gonna understand it. I think it's just, maybe it's just that's not how my mind works. Maybe it's just that's not how I see gaming. Or maybe it's just I come from a different era of gaming. Because I think a lot of these people saying this grew up with those Dark Souls games. And that's what they think a game should be. And of course, there's also a subsection who grew up with the arcade games and think that's how a game should be. But I'm not quite convinced that games should be either super accessible or super inaccessible. Because that inaccessibility locks out a lot of people who would otherwise want to play games. And it also makes it really, 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 really unfun to get into gaming. Because all of that came from like arcades where they'd eat your quarters. That's where all that came from, guys. A lot of that difficulty that people consider difficulty is really just like difficulty padding or just trying to make the game harder by making it more annoying, like unfortunately Revelation does. A lot of that comes from arcade games that were designed to eat your quarters. And that's not fun. Like, when did we decide it was fun to feel like we're being beaten on by a video game? And I mean, I don't think it's a problem to have hard games at all, but I think maybe we need to consider where the line is. Like, when does a game start being so hard it's actually no longer fun for the majority of people? Just a thought. We've about come to the end of our time here with this puzzle, so I'm going to turn it back over here to in-game commentary me and see where it goes from there. Catch you on the flip side. Bingo.
See this globe, little sister? See how round and smooth and empty it is? When I turn this switch, the chair you're sitting in will activate. Lights will go on. And everything that's you will be sucked out of your body, leaving behind the perfect disguise for me to step into. Father and Mother will teach you the art, never knowing it's really me who's doing the learning. Of course, I'll kill them as soon as I know how to write ages. Then I'll put my new memories back in my body, and no one will be able to stop me.
And so, Sirius is defeated. Bitch, bye!
She's free. You have done well, traveler. The one you know as Yisha has rediscovered her waking mind. Even now, she begins to return there.
No, it's real interesting that
The
Yisha looks like an
interloper
ancestor.
cannot follow her. The strands of dream close in on him, and without a guide to shield him, he will be completely crushed under their weight.
Sounds really painful.
Return now to your waking life, until the next time you wish to travel in dream.
I don't wish to do this ever again, Peter Gabriel. And yes, by the way, that was the spirit guide, played by Peter Gabriel. Yes, that Peter Gabriel. The song Curtains, which you saw when we went to dream the first time, also recorded by Peter Gabriel. For some reason, Myst IV went really hard on In the Weeds with Peter Gabriel. We are so in the weeds with Peter Gabriel. Yisha? Yisha? Oh no, Akinar!
We did it. The transfer worked. We saved Yisha.
Yeah, I guess we did. Well, you don't sound so good.
Don't look so surprised. The life stone had to be inserted directly into the shrine. Otherwise it wouldn't have worked. The only way to do that was to break the glass that contained the guests.
So you killed yourself.
Of course, that made it kind of lethal.
Couldn't you have gotten like a gas mask or something, Akinar? That'd have been one.
Way. All the things I did.
Pretty sure Uncle Saviro's mad about that still.
Cirrus is dead. It's over. Everything's gonna be okay, little sis.
You can't just die in front... Akinar, you can't die in front of a 10-year-old and tell her that her other brother's, like, dead. That's not how that works, bro. You're just traumatizing this 10-year-old. Are we just gonna, like... Are we just gonna, like... Wait, if he dies in Serendia, does that mean that, like, Akinar's memory can be preserved? Or no?
My friend.
Where were you this whole time?
Seems I'm always thanking you. Catherine has taken Isha to Tay. She's alright. She really is a strong...
No, she's not. She is not alright.
She's gonna need time. She loved Akinar and Cirrus very much. God, this is hard. It's as if a door inside me is closed despite everything I've done to keep it open.
I think it's called trauma.
But in a way, maybe that's good. My sons may be gone, but my daughter is safe. And now Catherine and I can give her all the love and attention she'll need to move on with her life.
Will she really,
We
though?
must move on with ours.
Will you really, though?
Endings are just another form of beginning, I guess. And the harder an end is to face, the more hope we bring with us to the next beginning.
Guess so, bruh. Maybe you should have told Uncle Savino that before he went on a big roaring rampage of revenge. You know, like 20 years after that. You ever check on Naran? You ever say hi to him? And that was Myst IV Revelation. I hope you enjoyed this revisit of the game. I think in the future I will not be playing this game again very often. It's quite a experience, but it's also quite experience, if you know what I mean. I think the good things that Myst IV does well, it does very well. The world building, the puzzle design, the story, like the puzzle thematics wise. The story, the ages, the music, the concept. And of course, it's always great to see Cirrus and Akinar again and get closure for their story. But I think the things it does poorly, it does really poorly. In essence, I think the puzzles are very, very obnoxious. They don't follow as much logic, I think, as the ones in Myst Riven or Exile. And while they do fit their ages very, very well, I do feel as though something was missing in this entry of the Myst franchise. I don't know what it was. Perhaps it was a sort of, some sort of DNA in the Myst series is gone in this series. And you're going to see that going forward as we move on eventually the other games in the series. And yes, I will be doing End of Ages. I will be doing Uru Complete Chronicles. But I wanted to give you guys a replay of the ones that I did play first, before we went on to those. Because I wanted to give you guys a little bit more of, well, what I feel would have been a better experience than what I did 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I wasn't very good at Let's Playing, and I wasn't very good at doing game videos. I was very much young, and I was learning at the time. I didn't know much about video editing, and I didn't really know anything other than I wanted to share these games that I liked with people. These games that kind of shaped me. These games that made me kind of who I am as a gamer. These games that still to this day have a big impression on me. And I really do think the Myst games made me who I am. Made me a gamer. So in that sense, I just want to thank you again for going with me on this 15-year-long journey on YouTube and watching these games with me again, going on these journeys through these ages with me again, one last time. I don't know how much more Myst content is going to be on my channel. I hope to add some more in the future. Not as much as my Dead by Daylight content, but hopefully more. And I think really the past couple years, this revisit was what I needed. It really was what I needed. So again, thank you very much for coming on this journey with me. And in that sense, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again. This has been your Phantom Safety Pin. This has been Myst IV Revelation. And I'll see you in End of Ages. And Uru. Very, very soon. See you in the cleft.
Go to sleep.